Welcome back, everybody. And now, the thrilling conclusion of my conversation with a man I now feel comfortable calling Mr. Spielberg. Let's talk about UFOs for a minute. What do you make of what's going on right now?
Oh, it's exciting. There's something out there.
So you're a believer?
I don't know if I'm a believer in the sense that I'm kind of the person that would think, I got to see something like that to believe it. I can make up stuff and make movies about things that I've never seen or experienced, and that's fine. But in terms of really believing something, I think I'd have to have my own close encounter. So I've never seen a UFO. I wish I did.
Nothing that's unexplained?
I've never seen anything that I couldn't explain. But I believe certain people who have seen things that they can't explain that is unexplainable. I think what has been coming out recently is fascinating, just absolutely fascinating. And I think the secrecy that is shrouding all of these sightings and the lack of transparency until Freedom of Information Act compels certain materials to be released publicly, I think that there is something going on that simply needs extraordinary due diligence. I mean, I would like to hear more about it. I don't know what they are. My imagination and my love for, I don't believe we're alone in the universe. I think it's mathematically impossible that we are the only, intelligent species in the cosmos. I think that's totally impossible. At the same time, it almost seems impossible that anybody would visit us from 400 million light years from here, except in the movies, unless it figures out some way of, basically jumping the shark, so to speak, and getting here through wormholes so I'm not a astrophysicist. I really can't speak the language of the people that do it so well out at JPL. But I just know, as a person that makes movies and uses his imagination, and also as a person that is insatiably curious about UFOs or UAPs, that there's something going on that we're really not being made that's not being disclosed to us.
Well, senators who have been briefed on this, and I don't mean just these latest balloon-ish incidents, senators who have been briefed on this have said there are things the American people deserve to know, and the quote I love is, and they're ready to learn. And that says to me that there's something sort of paradigm shattering about this news that we're not being told.
You know, the most optimistic thing I feel about these things that we're seeing in the skies, or the Army and Navy and Air Force are recording on their gun cameras, is that what if they're not from an advanced civilization 300 million light years from here, but what if it's us 500,000 years into the future that is coming back to document the second half of the 20th century and into the first 20th century, because they're anthropologists and they know something that we don't quite know yet that has occurred, and they're trying to track the last 100 years of our history.
Well, the hopeful part about that to me is that we survive.
Yes, that we survive, or a certain percentage of us survive that allows these other generations to flourish.
Okay, if there are aliens, is your bet on E.T. or War of the Worlds?
E.T.
Your bet is on E.T.?
Oh, yeah. War of the Worlds was just sort of a reflection of 9/11. It was my way of making a story about the impact that 9/11 had on all of us. I believe that if any extraterrestrial civilization has journeyed all the way here, it's because of curiosity and science, and it's not about aggression.
Because if they can get here, they don't need our resources. They must have enormous resources already.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact they've been this patient with us and haven't turned the Earth into a burned out cinder is extraordinary that they've had that. If there is anything happening, you have to applaud them for their patience.
You're Steven Spielberg, and obviously people pitch you movie ideas all the time.
Yes.
And I have a great idea, and use it, don't use it, but I just want you to hear me out, okay? E.T. 2. It's time.
Is that the title, E.T. 2, It's Time?
Doesn't matter what the title is. Doesn't matter what the title is. Just E.T. 2, Electric Boogaloo. It doesn't matter. We make E.T. 2, and you're going to go, well, what's it about? it's about $1 billion opening weekend, Steve, okay? You'll admit that it would be the highest grossing opening weekend of all time, E.T. 2.
Or nobody will show up because they love E.T. 1 too much.
You're crazy. You're crazy. Okay, I got some titles. E.T. Again. Too extra, too terrestrial. Look who's E.T.ing now. E.T. v. Predator. Would you want to see the Predator fight E.T.?
That's like Yoda in the last Star Wars movie where he fought so wonderfully.
Exactly. We got a CGI E.T. We give him a lightsaber. It's a crossover.
I don't know.
Think about it. Don't answer me now.
I don't know, Stephen. The weaponizing of E.T. I don't think that's such a good idea.
It's a different world. 1982, obviously, E.T.'s not going to have a lightsaber.
He doesn't have any armor.
He can deflect things with his mind.
He has no clothes. If it wasn't for Gertie and Elliot, he wouldn't even have that robe.
That's true. How did you get away? How did you get away with a full frontal nudity on an alien?
I've often wondered when people report seeing the Greys, they report being abducted by extraterrestrials and stuff, why they're not wearing clothes. Why are they all naked? Why are they all naked?
Or maybe it's just a very tight skin suit. Maybe it's a cat suit.
Maybe it has maybe it's a whole thermostatic system.
Maybe they're not even gray. Maybe it zips off.
maybe it comes off and
All right, and just one more time on the ET2. Okay. This time we do it right. Forget Reese's Pieces. The M&M people are going to become crawling to you this time.
Yeah, but you know something? They had their shot. I'm sticking with Reese's.
Wow. Loyalty. You like to work with the same people over and over again.
I'm very loyal to people who are loyal to me.
I'm smelling that
Reese's was loyal.
This is not a hard no, is what I'm hearing, that you've thought about this.
Well, I certainly thought about a sort of an endless supply of Reese's Pieces.
Did you ever think about a sequel to E.T.?
No, never.
So, I'm just going to leave this with you.
I can't believe I'm looking at that right now.
I'm just going to look with you. Why don't you just whatever, like, look through it. Don't look through it. Don't look at it now. Don't look at it now. I don't want.
It says E.T. A2 Brute.
It's
A2 Brute.
Okay, I got one sentence for you, and that is, E.T. make bank. That's my Christmas card.
I'm gonna open this when I'm in the office, and I'm gonna write you a letter about it. Oh my God, there's actually a script here.
What are you thinking? I'm not going to pitch Steven Spielberg and E.T. Give me that. You don't deserve. No, I'm taking this to JJ.
I'm giving it to Universal.
I'm giving it to J.J. Abrams. Thanks again to Steven Spielberg, John Williams, and everyone at Amblin. You can watch The Fabelmans in theaters and at home now. We'll be right back.